I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up.
Hello all, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing the purpose of this new channel and what I hope to accomplish with this channel, and also just giving you a rundown of who I am. Let's start with that. So I'm Lolly, and I have another YouTube channel that focuses on vegetarian and vegan food that I cook for my family. I am a vegetarian. My husband and I have decided to homeschool our children. We decided this, I want to say, before they were born. Before most of them were born. My reason for homeschooling may be different from other people's, and I'm not judging anyone who does not homeschool, but my main reason for homeschooling is because I don't know those people at that school. I don't know the people, and I think it's kind of odd that we just automatically hand our children over to strangers all day long. I just think that's very strange. And so for the protection of my children and for the peace of mind for me, because I did have an incident when I was in high school, with a teacher who I guess had a crush on me, and I thought that was very strange. And whatever the case, I'm doing this for the protection of my children, and also I'm a stay-at-home mom, and God has afforded me and my family the ability to do it. I know that it is quite expensive. However, how things are going, my husband works, and I stay at home with our 4 children. If we were to put them in daycare, or because they're small, if we were to put them in daycare, it would cost a lot of money. So it's actually cheaper for me just to stay at home. And so that's what I do. And that's actually been my dream. My dream has been to be a stay-at-home mom. It has proven to be quite challenging. It is hard to manage a household. I have 4 children. Their ages are, one will be 1 next week. I have a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And it is difficult, but I have been able to manage. It's funny because I just bought a new parenting book. My first time buying a parenting book. I just bought a parenting book last night, and I kind of felt like I'm a failure because I'm at wit's end in this journey, and I'm like, I need something to help me. And I kind of felt like a failure. But then today I'm like, you're not a failure. You are actually, in the same way you approach other things in your life, you're proving to be attentive, and you want to fix the situation. So now I feel better about it. I had to change the narrative, change the energy around that. And so now I feel good about it. So I might give you guys a review of the book and let you guys know how it's working for me. Okay, so that's my reason for homeschooling. I feel safer and I feel adequate enough. I don't think you have to be the smartest person or have a PhD in education or whatever the case to do this. I have some college in my background. While I was in college, I studied real estate, business, pharmacy. I want to say business law. I don't want to even add that because I did terribly in that. And I also went to insurance school. It's interesting. I just thought about that. Anyways, in high school, I made over a 4.0 grade point average. I did very well in traditional schooling, because I can learn anyway. I can just learn by just taking notes or learn musically, and the different learning types. I can just learn anyway, basically. So it was fairly easy for me. It was very repetitive, and I honestly breezed through school my whole life. It was just very easy. But for my children, I want to expose them to different style. I have my 4-year old, which she will be 5 soon. Um, she has some learning challenges. She's actually supposed to be getting evaluated soon. We're kind of holding it off because her doctor, her pediatrician, has referred me to a specialist. However, he's encouraging me to wait until she's 5, unless things get worse, which things have gotten a little hectic. But I'm just trying my best to maintain what we have going on. I'm just trying. It's hard to build a curriculum and build things around my child when I don't really know what the challenges are that she's facing. I'm doing my best with the information that she's given me and her responses to certain things. I try to change things up to see what works the best for her. I have a 3-year-old. He will soon be 4. He's been reading since he was 2. Um, he's an overachiever. I have to try to tone him down a bit. He reads excellently. He reads at a first grade level, and that kind of gets to his head sometimes. So I have to kind of bring him back to reality, let him know that he still needs help in certain areas. And my 2-year-old, she's my wild child. She's off the charts, off the chains. But she's very bright. She knows her alphabets, numbers, shapes, colors, and um, you know, she knows all that stuff. So she's doing great. My 1-year-old, he is just being a 1-year-old, learning his body parts. And um, yesterday we were talking about colors, and he said blue, and I was just like, well, you don't even talk. That's amazing. So I thought that was great. So he's picking up, and the good thing about having all 4 children learning and being around each other is that they learn from each other. My 2-year-old is picking up so much of what her older brother and sister are learning. So I think that is great, and that helps me out a lot, because I want to be honest with you, I focus so much on my 3 and 4-year-old throughout the day that sometimes my 2-year-old, I don't even think about. Well, by the time I do think about it, it's late, and I don't even think about going over flashcards with her. But throughout the day, she'll remind me. She'll say, "Hey, Mom, can we do flashcards?" She'll remind me, but she surprises me every day because she's around them, and so they teach her things, and I think that's great. And yeah, so I got a little bit of help in that regard. Other than that, the challenges of being a stay-at-home mom, trying to manage a household, trying to educate my children, trying to cook decent meals, healthy meals for my family, and um, you know, cleaning, paying bills, and doing everything. It is overwhelming at times, and so the best thing for me to do is to stay organized. We recently moved, almost 2 months now. We just moved into this house, and um, my life has been kind of chaotic because I like things to be in order, and moving here, trying to put things in different spaces so that I can have organization and everything is easily accessible to me. It's been kind of difficult because this house has different storage than my other house, and the other house actually had a storage closet, where I could put all the kids' homeschool and arts and crafts and all of their things into this closet. Well, here, that's not available to me, and I have just been storing things and different things. I have some of their things inside of my console. I have some things actually in my pantry. Okay. and I have some things inside our utility closet. The only space in this house that has the capacity to hold all of their stuff is in my master closet, and I don't want any of their stuff in there. I want that to be for me and my husband, and that's it. Okay? So that's that. So that's my little rundown. The thing I want to accomplish with this YouTube channel is I want to encourage parents to know that they're not alone. People who are homeschooling and are dealing with the day-to-days and being around your kids so much, it's rewarding, but it can be stressful, and sometimes you just be like, oh, I just want to get away. Trust me, you're not alone. I've learned this is normal. I thought I was feeling really guilty for feeling that way because it's like, I love my kids, but they're getting on my nerves, And so it's kind of hard to deal with that. Also, I want you to see that you can actually incorporate this into your daily life. I know a lot of us are on quarantine right now. We're on lockdown, and many of us are being around our kids every day for the first time since they were born. And so it's kind of hard for you to acclimate back into that lifestyle. So I'm going to be here to try to help with that. I know that people have been reaching out to me, my friends and family, on my Facebook page and Instagram about certain things. And so I'm going to just try to do what I can to be a service to you as I am helping myself in the process. Another thing I want to let people know is that you can homeschool your kids. You don't have to be the most educated, like I said before. You don't have to be some genius to educate your kids. And this is also a good opportunity if you don't feel like you're adequate. I've learned so much about certain things while teaching my kids certain subjects about animals and nature and science. I like relearn certain things, and it's like a refresher. So it's good for you too. You can kind of like get your mind going. But yeah, that's basically what I want to show people. And I'm also going to let you guys know some of the learning tools that I use as resources to help my kids and to help me, because again, I have 4 kids. I still have to cook. I still have to clean. Laundry still has to be done. I want time to myself sometimes. I still have a husband. Things still go on. So my life cannot just be, the kids. I have to kind of do other, and they still need time. The kids still need time with me outside of learning. They need mom time, they need dad time. They want to go outside, they want to go places. We can't go anywhere right now because of the quarantine, but they want to do stuff. So I still have to try to put all these things into place. So today I'm just going to talk about a couple of things, just something that I've done this week to try to break up the monotony of it all and to refresh and reboot our homeschool curriculum. Mind you, none of my kids are in formal school yet, and by formal school I mean of school age. So my daughter, who will be 5 soon, she missed the mark as far as her age, so she won't be starting real school until September of this year. So we have some months before that happens, and she will be doing online public school rather, on top of, a couple of things that she might get into around the house. So I'm basically just preparing her for the online homeschool. I think we might do K through 12. They seem the most compatible to what we have going on in our area. So I'm just preparing her for that. One of the requirements is being able to write their name, from what I gathered. She can write her name. She still needs help with her penmanship. And so she gets frustrated easily. And a lot of the times what I need to do is grab her attention and help her to focus. She has a hard time focusing, which is one of the reasons why she needs to be evaluated. So what we did, I set up 6 workshops. They will be going through 3 of them each day. So we can alternate, or, um, you know, I just want them to go touch on 3 of these workshops each day. I don't try to overload them. I only do about an hour, 2 tops of actual homeschooling, and 2 is like we must be having a great time. So I try to like keep their attention span. I don't dwell on anything for more than 15 minutes at a time. Um, because that's when, especially my daughter, she'll lose focus. So I try to get enough information in that small amount of time, and then we can move on to the next thing. So our workshop number 1 is writing. So what I'll do is I'll set these up in different places of my house. So this is going to go, they have a playroom over here where they have their whiteboard and the table and stuff like that. So we'll do writing. And writing is, we have letters of the day that we do on our whiteboard, and we also have words that they are choosing their words this week. So our letters today and yesterday, we're doing it for 2 days because we didn't do enough yesterday. So L and M are the letters. So they're going to practice writing the letter L, lowercase and uppercase, and then M, same thing. And then I let them choose L words and M words, and then I will put them into sentences, and they will read the sentences based upon the words that they chose. Also within those sentences are helper words, aka sight words that they use to help me formulate the sentences. So that's what they'll be reading. We read that, and then we go over that. So writing practice, though, we're going to practice writing those letters of the day. We have writing worksheets where I'll show you some of the worksheets from the workbooks that we have. Write the helper words. They can practice writing the helper words and practice writing your name. And that's just to basically help their penmanship get better. Okay, and then we have a computer workshop. And the computer workshop is where they're going to be doing their things that we subscribe to. We have Dreambox, which is a math learning, it's not an app, is it? It's a learning website where they can do different things. I like the Dreambox because it helps them with counting, greater than, less than comparisons, and things like that. And they kind of work their way through. And then we have ABC Mouse, which we've had ABC Mouse for over a year, and they don't use it as much as they should. Same with Hooked on Phonics. We have Hooked on Phonics, which Hooked on Phonics has been a big help. It's been a great big help with helping my son and my daughter. And it's also helping my 2-year-old. And the 2-year-old can also do ABC Mouse. They have something called toddler time within her age bracket. And so that's been helpful for her too. So she's been learning with Hooked on Phonics. She's been picking up. She has her own account in Hooked on Phonics, and so she's been learning with that. It's been pretty good. So computer time, I have a laptop. I have a couple of tablets around here. We do Dreambox on the laptop. ABC Mouse and Hooked on Phonics are done generally on they are. ABC Mouse and Hooked on Phonics are done on the tablets. Okay, so our reading workshop, we have some flashcards that we do, and we have books that we read, and we also have like puzzle games that help with reading. So that's the reading workshop, and I will set this up. The computer station is actually going to be here in my dining area, and then the reading workshop will be set in the living room somewhere, and then our math workshop is going to be also in the playroom area where they're going to be practicing their weekly math problems. So I give them math problems throughout the week. This is a new thing for us. So, well, not really new. It's new because now I'm testing them on it. But I give them math problems throughout the week, and then we practice them daily. Show them how to use counting. So, for instance, this is a math test from last week. So 2 + 1 or 1 + 2 is the same thing. So they're learning that they're reversible, or is it interchangeable? I don't know the word. See, you don't have to be that smart. Anyway, so I'll put 2 fingers up, 1 finger will count, put it together. and then I'll swap it or not swap. It doesn't really matter, and then we'll count. So they learn how to get to that sum. So there's other ways that I teach them as the numbers get bigger, and then, you know, whatever. But they'll learn that. They learn their, where's that thing? ABC Mouse helps with counting a lot because they have different things that helps with learning how to count and learning how to count up to like 100 or whatever it does. We also have math worksheets, and then writing practice as far as practice writing their numbers. They have a hard time writing some numbers, and sometimes since numbers aren't things that they write on a daily basis, they sometimes forget how to write them. My daughter writes a lot of things backwards, so I try to keep her practicing so that she can do a better job at that. Then we have an art workshop, and basically it's just to keep them creative. They can color a picture, they can draw a picture and color it, or create something. So that could be cutting out things and gluing them together, or even if they want to take like some Play-Doh and make something, so or slime, well, not really slime, but Play-Doh, and they have some sand. They have different things where they can just take things, and they can use different mediums. So they can use markers, color pencils, crayons, and again, clay and things like that to create something, or paint. Okay, and then we have my favorite one. No, this is something that I like. I call it video learning. They learn a lot, and I do mean a lot, from YouTube, and like, it's really helped me out a lot. I usually have them learning something on YouTube once or twice a day. They really like to do the educational songs, ABCs, Spanish songs, Spanish lessons. They do Spanish lessons on YouTube. Just various things. One thing that I really like that my daughter has learned from video learning from YouTube is the size of shapes. She knows how many sides a decagon has, a nonagon has, heptagon, hexagon. She knows all that, and she memorized it from these songs. And so she can not only identify the shape, but tell you how many sides they have, just different things. I really encourage people, you know, you let your kids have their tablets or their phones or whatever, and you let them go on YouTube and explore all these things that aren't quite beneficial. My kids only know that they think that YouTube is only for learning. And so it's like ABC Mouse or Hooked on Phonics to them. They're like, hey, they'll tell me, can we learn about polar bears this week? Can we learn about this and that? And so we do that. Yeah, but YouTube video learning has helped a lot. And so I'm really appreciative of that tool. So for reading, I told you guys that we have Hooked on Phonics. And so Hooked on Phonics is great because they have these little books that the kids can read after they learn about the words in the program. So I like that. And they also will send you workbooks that help. This one says learn to read. So they help the child read. Oh, this is from something else. Excuse me. So as you can see here, it has at words, and words, app words. And then the kids will practice these words, and it'll continue on to give different sequences. Then they'll practice reading the book, which that book is not in here, but they'll practice reading the book, and then they'll go on to the next thing. And then by the end of the whole thing, see another book, they'll read some helper words, and by the end of it, they'll mix it all up to see if the child has retained any of that information, which generally they do. So that's a good thing. Another Hooked on Phonics tool, this is level 3, Learn to Read. This is also a workbook. where they can go in and look at different things and learn how to write. It helps you with writing, and it helps you identify the words, hear the sound. So the phonics portion of it. It's a pretty good book. We haven't gotten to this one yet, but they know this stuff already, but we haven't gotten to this particular workbook yet. Something that I use for writing. First of all, I just want to say that I get these pencils, these thick pencils from Walmart. They're only a couple of dollars. They come in packs of 2. I want to say they're like $2 or $3 for 2 of them. And they're very helpful. I'm thinking about getting one of those grippers that help the child learn how to hold the pencil correctly, because my son is starting to have a problem with it. My daughter has always had a problem with holding her pencil correctly, so I'm thinking about doing that. This is a writing book. Let me go to the writing one. This is Before I Write, and this is basically a workbook that helps the child learn how to make straight lines, curly lines, slanted lines, squiggly lines, and things like that. This is actually something that my 2-year-old is working on right now. And then this is for preschoolers, but my 2-year-old is working on this book. She says she wanted this book, so this is hers. And they can add their stickers and what have you. My 3- and 4-year-old are using these books. They have a couple of these, and so for instance, this day they're going to be doing the letter M, so they have to do this, connect the dot, it'll make an M. Looks like somebody already tried, but need a little bit more work, and then trace the M and then write a couple of M's in the back. So we'll do that for M. And for L, if it's in here, I don't even know if it's in here. L's not in here, so I'll have to create a worksheet, but this is something they're also using. And for math readiness, this helps with counting, and I like this because it makes them have to sit and actually count things out. They don't like, my kids don't like, I don't know about yours, but my kids don't like taking the time to count things. So they have to count things out, and I'll go behind them just to check and make sure that they are correct. And if they need to change something, I'll have them change it. And if something's too sloppy, I'll make them erase it and try again, so they can take their time to do their work, so they can get used to turning in neat work and taking their time and being proud of the work that they actually turn in. I don't want them just to be content with just turning in sloppy work just because they're doing homeschool with mom. You still have to turn in neat work. So on these things, they'll have you count the bunches and circle the numbers of that correspond to how many are in the little boxes. I like these books a lot. I think I got these I got from Dollar Tree, and this one here I ordered online. Actually, all these I ordered online with Walmart, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Walmart. And these are some good books. Also, this is another good book that Hooked on Phonics sends books every month. They send packets with workbooks and things like that. I actually canceled half of the subscription because we weren't using the packets really. I do like the books, but I'm going to start the subscription up again for my youngest daughter, and for the older ones. But usually we don't really need those books. We have tons of books, and so we do a lot of reading. But I do like these books because they, make the child focus on noticing what letters are in words and different things like that. So this is a good one. Let me see. These are flashcards that I bought back in 2015. And they're for ages 4 and up. I usually start these with my kids when they're 2. These have first words, so they have like apple, fox, and ball, circle, square. Like they have a stack of them that give the first word. So I'll always start with the first words, then I'll start doing numbers, and then colors and shapes. Oh, the alphabet, excuse me. I'll start with the alphabet. So the alphabets are first, then I'll start doing the first words, then colors and shapes and numbers. And then now for my older kids, we're working on sight words and phonics. So those are the things that we're working with the older kids. And then my 2-year-old and my baby, my 1-year-old, we're doing alphabet and first words. My 2-year-old has seemed to be over the first words. So she told me she wants to do colors and shapes. So she's been doing colors and shapes, even though she already knows her colors and shapes. That's what she says she wants to do. So if that's what she wants, I encourage her to explore that. I think, another thing that I do is I will make flashcards based upon things that I notice that they struggle with, or things that I want them to learn. These are actually for my 2-year-old, and she knows a couple of these words in here, and she'd actually torn some out, so had to make some more. But yeah, I'll make flashcards. I'll make anything that I think that I can do to help them and to make it fun. I'll do it, because I don't want them to think that learning is just a whole bunch of boring stuff, because my 4-year-old, she already thinks that. And so I'm just trying to encourage her. So I'll get bright colors, things that'll grab her attention. I'll even ask her, how can I help you, or what do you want to do? And if it's even counting my lemons or anything, I'll just try to encourage them or support them in whatever they want to do. Yeah, so that's basically that. I have tons, I'm not going to go through all this today, but I have tons and tons and tons of things that I do with my kids. And this right here I like, because you have, sometimes as a parent, even if you don't have anything, it's kind of hard to determine what you're going to do with your kids. And then also, when you have a lot of stuff, it's hard to determine what you're going to do with your kids, because you have all of this stuff here all the time. So I just try to narrow it down for them and for myself. So like I said, 3 workshops a day. So we'll probably do 1, 3, and 6. 1, 3, and 5 on one day, and then 2, 4, 6 on another day. So I'll actually talk to them about it and see what they want to do, and then from there we'll start to build around that. So we'll probably do this for like a week or 2, just to give it like a trial run, and then I'll like quiz them and see how they like it. And if they do like it, we'll continue on that way. And if it's not working and they don't like it, then I'll just have to revamp and try something else, and I'll let you guys know how that works. That's basically it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope I didn't talk your ears off. I hope I encouraged you, and I hope that you're inspired to do better, be better, and I thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments any questions that you might have for me about homeschooling, about my family, about my process, about my daily life, whatever it is. Just try to stay positive, please. I thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Until next time. Bye-bye.